I definitely, I do nerdy very well. I'll see if I can do the actor part too.
Okay, so one of my professors in college always said that acting is just living someone else's truth. So whenever I act, I always find myself learning truths from my characters. I was wondering what truths Meg has taught you.
That is very good. Meg has taught me, I think one of the truths for me from the get-go was her perspective, because one of the differences between her and, like, say, the average human is she's lived a heck of a lot longer and seen a lot more. So that changes the dynamic of everything. Every moment that might seem significant to someone who lives a shorter lifespan would be very insignificant to her. So I think it's good in the grand scheme, in the context, like in the context of everything. Where does this sit? I think is a really helpful truth to by which to evaluate things. I also think that, like, me personally, having grown up in this society, especially as a woman, I'm very apologetic. And I worry a lot about everything I say and do and how it might affect people. And Meg is not apologetic and she doesn't worry. And so I think those two truths were really helpful. And I've tried to learn that a little. It's not that, like, obviously I care very much about the effects that I'm creating in the world and making the world better. But I realize I have a better perspective, I think, after playing Meg, that the little things are not as bad as they seem, one, and that also you're probably going to cause people more discomfort and unhappiness if you're anxious and worried that you're making them uncomfortable. So it's harder to be around someone who's always like, I'm sorry, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, oh my, you know. So I've learned that actually being okay with yourself and not being in a state of anxiety or, regret or whatever is you can do more good from that state. So that's my 2 cents. What do you is there anything you learned from me?
I think everything that you said, and then also, finding something to fight for.
It's a great question.